Hey my cutie, so the first thing we're gonna do is use some Mario Badescu spray all over our face. My skin is mostly dry, so that's why I decided to try that. And I'm taking my E.l.f. poreless primer and putting that all over my face, but I mainly always focus it underneath my eyes. That's why I put the most. And I've already put concealer on my eyes, but I'm just taking a brush to what is the best way to say this, to blend the concealer out so there won't be any fine lines or creases, because once you put that eyeshadow on, it sets the concealer in place because eyeshadow was powder. So I'm in my Juvia's Place Saharan 2 palette, and that's the color Taza. And I'm taking a big fluffy brush and I'm just putting it above my crease. If some of it gets in the crease, it's okay. It's just because that brush is really big, which is why you see me turning it sideways sometimes. And you pat first and then you blend out in circular motions after the fact. But right now I'm going back into that same palette, and this is the color Zokia or something like that. Oh my gosh, I can't remember, but I'm going to try to leave pictures. But this is just the burgundy shade inside of that palette. And if you're a beginner, a dense brush basically means it's fluffy when you look at it, but it's a lot more packed with hairs in it than the first brush I used, if that makes any sense. So when you hear someone says a dense fluffy brush, that's because the brush is wide enough to be fluffy, but it's a lot more hairs in it, so it can pick up a lot more. And I just put that underneath that orange shade and I pack that on. And now what I'm doing is I'm taking the same brush that I used with the orange shade, and you just blend where the two colors meet in a circular motion to blend those colors out and make sure there's no harsh lines. And then once you're done blending, if you feel like it took away some of your color, you want to go back with the color that you want to reapply and put it there. So I went back with the burgundy color to reapply just to make sure it was still pigmented. And I do not set my concealer on my eyes anymore. I used to, but I realized not setting it and just putting the shadow straight on it gives me a lot more pigment, because I used to struggle with pigment. So now I'm taking my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the color medium beige. Of course, I was just taking it out the tube because originally I wasn't going to do a cut crease. I was just putting a little bit of concealer there so my lid color can pop more. But eventually I just put some on a brush and I decided to just outline my crease to do a cut crease. Okay, now I'm into my Juvia's Place Magic palette, and I think the shade is Aja or Aja. It's spelled A-J-A, and it's like a dark green color, or at least in the pan it looks dark green. And so I'm just putting that in the front of my lid. It's like a dark greenish, dark tealish color. Like sometimes I see a little hints of blue, which makes it look teal, and sometimes it looks like a dark green. And after I was done with that shade, I took a purple shade, the dark purple shade from out of that same palette, and I just took it on the other side of that brush and put it next to that green shade. And honestly, I don't know why I chose these colors. I guess in my mind I just wanted to do something different, and I was feeling in a fall mood, and I like those grungy dark vampy looks. So I just thought to choose two colors together that I probably never would have chosen any other time. And the trick is for beginners, if you're new to cut creases and you try your hardest to get close to that line, but you feel like you go over it just a little bit, take an angled brush that you would use to do your eyebrows, and take that color that you have in your crease and put it on there and go above it to help straighten out that line, to straighten out that cut crease line. It'll help it get more precise if you're a beginner and you struggle with that. But right here, I'm just going ahead and I am setting the areas that I highlighted. I lost the clip where I actually highlighted, so this is just me going back and setting those areas with my Maybelline Fit Me powder, which was my forehead, under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, and my cupid's bow, and my chin. And I'm using my Real Technique sponge. And now I'm going in with my black Opal Deluxe finishing powder in the shade Deep. And I did have a good bit on the brush just because I didn't want to have to keep going back in and look powdery and cakey. So I put a little in each spot, and then once I got it all off the brush, I took the powder brush, and just blended it into my skin to set all over my face. And now I'm contouring with my Ruby Kisses contour palette. It's the darkest shade in the palette, and that's an angled blush brush. And you're going to go on the hollows of your cheeks. And once again, if you're a beginner, you know, do the duck lips, and it helps you outline the bottom of the jawbone or cheekbone. And when you contour, you want to contour the hollows of your cheeks, your jawline. If you want to make your head shape a little bit slimmer, then do your jawline. Sometimes I do my jawline, sometimes I don't. And then of course your forehead, if you want to. If you feel like your forehead is too big or something, contouring helps with that. And now I'm taking that same brush that I used with that burgundy shade, and I'm just doing my under eyeshadow. But that's the only shade I went back with. I didn't go back with the orange, honestly, because I was being lazy. And I don't like when the eyeshadow was too far down under my eye. I don't like that. So I just went in with that shade and that shade only. And from the Magic palette, I'm taking the gold shade out of that palette. I think it's called Nubia. I always call it Narabi for some reason. But I'm just taking that on a brush and putting it on my inner corner. And now I'm going in with that same powder brush I used, and I'm going in with my Profusion blush in the color Rosette. It's just a little blush set that I got from Ross a long time ago when I was working there. And then smile and put it on the apples of your cheeks. But I don't like to wear a lot of blush. I feel like it looks old lady-ish. And the best part ever, highlight with my Maybelline Master Chrome in the color Molten Rose Gold. Freaking love this highlighter. Yes, and you put it where you see one putting it. I don't know what that part of the face is called for some reason at the moment. I can't think of the name. But you put it in that area, and then I kind of go down, and then after a while to blend it in, I do circular motions. Like I'm doing now. I'm doing some circular motions, and then I'm also going up and down. Now see, what I used to do beforehand, sometimes I would have harsh highlighting lines, and in the dark you can see it. So what I started doing was taking my sponge and trying to blend those lines out as much as I could. And then if I feel like the shine from the highlight is going, you can always go back and apply a little bit more, but the lines will be blended out a lot better. And you know, highlight the tip of your nose, your cupid's bow, and then I always have like the bridge of my nose in between my eyes, like that little dip. And after this, you're gonna I put my lashes and my mascara on off camera. I didn't put on any liner. So you're gonna set your face. I use MAC Fix Plus, and then my lipstick I use is the Urban Decay color Blackmail. And this is actually, tell me if you like my hair. This is my first lace front wig. I made the wig. It was some hair I got, and it's my first lace wig. So tell me if you like it. It's from West Kiss Hair. And that's all. Thank you so much for watching my cuties. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Kutie Krush, and Facebook. I also created a Facebook page at Kutie Krush. And hit the notification bell when you subscribe.